Step aside, Barbenheimer, your time's done. It's time for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Trench Mayhem 2 to take over. Hi, my name is John Bonjour. I'm an artist and a film enthusiast, and this year has been crazy good for like double features coming out on the same weekend. We just had Barbenheimer, obviously. This weekend we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which, bold move, putting mutant in the title twice. And paired right next to that we have Meg 2 The Trench, which, bold move using the word trench at all in your title. I want to review these two together because I think they pair really well. So we're going to start with Ninja Turtles and then we're going to do Meg, and there's going to be no spoilers, so don't worry. If you haven't seen either of them, just watch the rest of the video. Or don't. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, still the least sayable title maybe of all time. Who chose to have that? Could have been anything. You could have called it anything. Going into this, my expectations were kind of weird because I've loved the Ninja Turtles as long as I can remember. And from the trailer, this could either be a great movie or it could kind of be a Spider-Verse clone without any of the good things that make Spider-Verse work. And I'm so happy to report this is a great movie. Ninja Turtles is so much fun. I will say it's way more of a children's movie than Across the Spider-Verse is, which feels really weird because it's like an animated Spider-Man movie. But that movie, it's kind of dark and it's very like thematically heavy, where this is just like, this is a Ninja Turtles movie. Like at its core, this is cowabunga dudes, let's go get some pizza. But I think it does a really good job of kind of twisting and making the lore new. It feels fresh. All the discussions between the turtles is what makes this movie work. That's what makes this movie soar. They are so funny together, and you can tell that they're like actual teens and they're just kind of riffing on each other. I love that we get to spend actual time with those characters. I feel like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise in the past has kind of chosen to forego the teenage part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and really go more for the Mutant Ninja Turtles. And not that that's a bad thing, there's a lot for that. I mean, Michael Bay's, there's no argument that those were teenagers. They're like 50-year-old adults with giant muscles. Like, that's The Rock. It's not a teenager. None of those are teenagers. But in this movie, they really are teens. Like, they have the vocabulary of teens, they talk like teens, like they make very dumb choices, which is a very teenage thing to do. They're funny, they're kind of mean to each other, like they are constantly just giving each other shit all the time. It plays so well on screen. Their chemistry is absolutely incredible. And pairing with that, the art style of this whole world, all the designs of the humans and the mutants and all the cars and the buildings, it's all just gross and weird, but in the most fun way possible. None of it is disturbing on any level, but it's all just like strange. Superfly, the villain in the movie, at a couple of points you see him and it's just like, oh man, the designers, they worked overtime. They worked overtime on that guy. This movie also comes with a landslide of favorite characters. I think it's Seth Rogen and John Cena that play Bebop and Rocksteady, and they have probably 6 lines in the movie, but they are some of my favorites. To that point, the writing is a thing that I think brings this movie way up and also kind of drags it back a little bit, which is weird energy. I feel like some of the jokes that they do, most of the jokes that they do, are hilarious every time. Like, they do some repeating gags, funny every time to me. Where this movie doesn't always land for me is some of the pop culture references that they bring in. It just feels a little unnecessary and kind of like out of place. I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it because in concept, these turtles who would have all the time in the world to just consume media, yeah, they would always be referencing like Avengers and all that. But in actual execution, there's something about it that just feels like they're trying too hard to make a joke, where the real fun part of this movie, the parts that make me laugh, are them reacting to each other. It's not always the best written joke that works in this movie. But that's the weird thing about this movie. I can see the flaws. I see that there's pacing issues, absolutely. Some of the jokes don't always land. Some of the character decisions don't make total sense. And I just don't care. It just doesn't matter to me because it's such a blast watching these turtles just jump around and fight things and all the random mutants going around driving cars. Like, there's just so much going on. All the humor is so quick paced that, yeah, if a joke doesn't land, there's gonna be another one coming in like 4 seconds. So it doesn't really matter. And by the end of the movie, I really didn't care that I had some issues with it. I still think this is like maybe the best Ninja Turtles movie we've made. And now for the second half of my proposed double feature, Meg 2 The Trench. Now, I went into this with no expectations, right? Meg, the first Meg is dumb and fun, and Jason Statham does a big punch to a shark. That's all I want. I want Jason Statham to flex his muscles, say something stupid, punch a couple of guys, and then fight a shark. That's all I need. And guess what? We got it. They done did it again. Meg 2 is not a smart movie at all. Like, it is the dumbest movie. In terms of story, there is not a single thing that this one does that either the first one didn't do or another kind of aquatic horror movie hasn't done in the past. There's a section of this that is lifted directly from the movie Underwater from a few years back. Great movie if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Like 20-30 minutes of this movie are just the movie Underwater. It's just that movie down to like some character beats. A death is the same in both movies. Like, it is so clear that whoever wrote or came up with this movie saw that movie and went, well, let's just put that into my Meg movie. I've been missing about 30 minutes. I got 30 pages to fill. What if I just put that in there? And I think it's so funny because it's so blatantly obvious. Like, that section started and I was like, this feels very familiar. There was just something about Meg 2, The Trench. It's indescribable how much I love this movie. And I'm gonna start coining it big shark energy. That's what I'm going with, big shark energy. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of movies out there that are just the right blend of big and dumb that the answer can just be big shark to any question that you have. In this case, they're at the bottom of the ocean, the deepest part we've ever seen. How can they swim? Big shark. How do a series of monsters know how to follow one exact heat signature in the entire ocean? Big shark. Why does this random guy know that a bag of powder is as explosive as TNT? Big shark. Why won't the car start? Big shark. Why won't the boat start? Big shark. This is what I mean. It's that kind of energy where you can have as many logical problems with the movie and it just doesn't matter because guess what? Big shark. That's what we're here to see, right? Big shark. We're here to see big shark, big man fight big shark. That's all I want. And oh boy, does this deliver. Back to my point. It makes me so happy that these movies came out together. This is just like the prime summer movie experience. And I feel like people aren't gonna go see them because, I don't know, maybe they didn't like The Meg because they have no taste. Or maybe they're just not huge Ninja Turtles because guess what? Again, no taste. But if you do choose to see these movies, I would go maybe with like an 8:30 showing of the Ninja Turtles and an 11 o'clock showing of The Meg. Same day, just blast your eyeballs with as much color and weird monster as you could possibly handle. That's what the movies are for. Thank you for watching my video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on other movies, shows, comic books maybe, I don't know, just like a piece of graffiti that you find on the side of a train, I don't care. Just comment down below what you want me to review next, and I might or might not do that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, or don't do any of that because I'm in fact not your dad. Also, side note, this needs to be a trilogy, and the third one needs to be what we all got promised with Jurassic World Dominion. All I want for this third movie, I want it to be a big climactic endgame type thing. Jason Statham versus big sharks, giant whales, weird octopus squids, a bunch of crabs crawling around, eating people, just chaos wall to wall for like an hour and a half. That would be the perfect movie. You'd make $1 billion, I guarantee it, because I would probably see it 1 billion times.